All right, I'm back with Joseph Massey to answer another question from one of our students. So I read through this question, and the basic understanding I have here is this student believes that if a person is in recovery and they are a counselor, they are able to connect at a deeper level with clients. And if so, they're wanting to know, like, if I'm not in recovery and my only experience is I've watched a loved one go through addiction before, how can I help clients? How can I develop a rapport with clients if I'm not in recovery myself?
Great question. I think it's I always go to this as my example, like a doctor. We take doctors' advice all the time. They don't have to have experienced the same thing that we're experiencing. We still trust them. We still believe them. To me, it's the same thing. We go through a lot of training. There's a lot of skills that get built, and we meet with a lot of people. We learn along the way. There's definitely, I think, some advantages to, that connection that you could have with someone who maybe has been in recovery. But I don't think that it's a requirement. I don't think that it's something that is going to benefit eh, one situation over another. I think it's come up for me a couple of times over the years, and it really hasn't been an issue, honestly. There are some clients that they don't care, they don't ask, they don't, really get to know your side of things. And I think keeping a professional distance is really important as well. Like if there's something that you think is going to help you connect with this individual, then maybe you share it. But it's also their time and it's their session. And so
Mm.
I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about me because I'm not the one that's paying for this
Mm.
time, if that makes sense. So
Yes.
it's really about, sometimes you get asked the questions directly, you give an honest answer. It has not come up that much in my career, but I do see the benefits both sides. But I think that people that experience addiction through their families and through loved ones have a very significant value that they bring as well,
Mhm.
because they've been on the other side of it. They've been able to see kind of outside looking in, and I think that's an important place as well, an
Mhm.
important view.
Truly. I think that if we're in recovery or if we've had a family member that has struggled with addiction, that's what gets us to the field.
Mhm.
That's not that has nothing to do with counseling skills. Um, we all know how it feels to be in pain, so we can all relate. I think once you answer that question of are you or aren't you in recovery, there's a whole lot more that then has to happen. That just
Mhm.
being in recovery or not being in recovery can't carry you through your whole relationship with the client. So I want to encourage this student in particular. You don't have to be in recovery to be a counselor in addiction counseling. As a matter of fact, I worked with a person whose husband was in treatment, and I didn't work in the field. This was when I lived off in Germany, and we worked on a military base. And she came in because she knew I worked in addiction counseling before I was there. And she said, I cannot believe this. I went to the family group last night for my husband's treatment, and the counselor said he was an alcoholic. So, how is he supposed to be telling my husband how not to be an alcoholic? Those were her words. I
Mm.
know we don't call people alcoholic anymore, but I thought, "Whoa, that's a perspective I hadn't thought of." My guess is this counselor said, "Hi, my name's Bob. I'm an alcoholic," introducing himself like many people in recovery do,
Mhm.
and never thought about what people who aren't in recovery think of when they hear those kinds of things. So this woman was like, I don't even want you being there. You're not going to be helped by somebody who has the same problem as you. So I think
Mm.
it's all about perspective.
Yeah.
And I can promise you that if I tell a client I'm in recovery, they're going to have another question. Well, then
Mhm.
what drugs have you used? Are they the
Right.
drugs I've used? There's
Right.
always something else, and I cannot have done or gone through every single thing a client has done or gone through, but I can
Abs
help them recover.
yeah, absolutely.
That's such a I just think that's such an untrue thing that people think about this field. You don't have to be in recovery. You don't have to be anything but trained to have empathy and really care about the
Mhm.
person.